This is the introduction video. This is the app screen. At the top of the app screen is the header, which has a black background. Then there's the red stripe where options are. Then there's the blue box where notes are made and the status line will be at the bottom. Next, there's the app work area, this whole area here. Then below that is the start saved app letters. If you saved one of your applications, you can restart it by knowing its letter. Then below that, there's a list of HTML5PCODE apps that you can run. Alright, now back to the red stripe. It starts out with the pause option. When you hit pause, the app stops execution. When you click it again, the app restarts execution. Next is the program option. That takes you to the program screen. Right now we'll just go back to executing the application. Next is the step value, which is subtracted from all weights if the program has weights inside it. The higher the step value, the shorter the weight is going to be. Next is help. Click on help and it will show you what I'm explaining right now, what these options are for. You click on sound and it will turn sounds off. Click it again, turn sounds back on. Adjust is to adjust parameters for an application. For instance, if one has to do with simulation and uses probabilities, you may adjust the parameters for the probabilities, and then there's a test option that you can test the changes you've made to the probabilities. Next is the info. You click on that and you go to the glossary. Over here are topics that you can click on and it'll tell you about that topic. Like I say, app screen. Here it will show you the app screen and the information about it. Or on the other side, here are actions you could perform. For instance, you could look at the absolute value. Here it'll show you how to make the instruction. Here it'll show an example of that instruction using the absolute value action. And also, if you look down here, it'll show you that there's a relevant video for this particular action. Alright, this is the glossary. Next, data. If you click on data, it will show you the data right now as the program is running. For instance, here you see this value of tick is constantly changing. And up here the tab number is changing. That tab number is what you were seeing over here in that gray box. Turn the data off. We'll go to trail. Trail will take you through the program so many instructions at a time. First we'll go 9 instructions at a time. Alright, you start seeing it build the area in the gray box. Now you see it starting to build the other side. I'm going 9 instructions at a time. And as it goes, it tells you exactly where it is. So if you wanted to know where it put this text line on the screen, well, right here is where it did. It says it was in the main program at line 66. That's the trail. Also, there's RT, which stands for real time. If you click on that, you'll be shown the program at the particular area that you selected. I happen to know that the area that was selected was this gray box here. Here it says how tall, wide, and what XY position the gray box is in, and here it draws a rectangle and fills it in. And here's the color, 333, which I happen to know is this color of gray. So I can change it while the program is running. I'm going to change that to a 0. And because that was the number for how much red, notice it turned to be blue-green. That is RT. Now we're going to go to the program. This is the program screen. On the left here are the instructions for, and it says up here, HTML5PCODE homepage. Over here are the options that you can use when programming. The first one, execute the application, is going to take us back to the app screen and run the program. Here, save the application. Here, create a new application. Create a new subprogram. Right now, there's only 2 subprograms. There could be 9 of them. Store the saved green lines. If you want to take lines from application A and put them in application B, this will store them in the local storage area of the browser. Then you could start another application and use this one here to paste the stored lines into this area, paste saved. So you can save the green lines, paste the saved green lines, delete the green lines, copy the green lines below the yellow line. Now over here you see some green lines, and here's the yellow line. And here's where you can place and store the green lines on the local storage. Alright, we'll go down here. List values. You click there, and you can go to any one of the lists. Here's one called pattern. And here's the values that are in this list called pattern. I could go to any one of its pages of text. Click on there and I'll go to page B. This is a text page, and here you see the text that's on it. Also, we have here list page names. You can give a name to every one of the lists or any one of the pages. This one's called pattern, this one's observed, this one's frequency. You can give them names so it's easier to follow the program. Next you have the program names. Remember, here's the main program name, and here are the 2 subprogram names. You can give variables names. There are 60 variables. Here's one called tab number. We were watching the one called tick changing its value all the time when we were looking at data. Alright, those are variable names. Next you can display the registers. Here's where the notes are made. Here is note 1 that we saw on the screen. Here's note 2. Alright, over here we can see the ASCII values and colors. Here is all the ASCII characters and control values and the ASCII numbers that go with them. Down here are some of the colors and the number of the color. There are actually thousands of colors that can be made. Next we have here font sizes. Here's an example of the font sizes. I do believe they go much higher than 60. Next are pictures. Here are pictures that you can use. There are many sets of pictures. Here, these are actually textures that you can use. And then we have patterns. There are patterns that are already made that you can use. Here are some of them. There are also patterns that you can make. Here is a particular pattern that was being made. Here I'll fill it in so you can see what it looks like. You can use this area to build patterns with curves and patterns made of patterns. That's patterns. Below that is sounds. I'll click on sounds. Here we can play some sounds. that was a long sound. Now, at the beginning, remember in the gray box, it was constantly changing the routine it was performing. If you want to know where the program is for that routine, down here it says routines. Click there, and now here is the name of all the routines that it's running in that gray box. And you can go to them. It'll take you right to the program. Here is the routine that was building the first thing on the screen in the gray box. Alright, below this, build an app. Here are 5 videos that explain how to build an app and create an HTML file for that application. And below that is a list of HTML5 YouTube videos. If you watch these videos in order, you'll become a master of HTML5P code. Well, that's the introduction video.